Hello, this is Richard Bruce, and I have compiled this film using a regular consumer-grade video camera against my computer screen, which I initially recorded the movie off of a DVD and then replayed it on the computer and then took a video camera to the scrubber in a video editor. Anybody can do this. It is not hard. What you are seeing is most commonly known as reptilian shapeshifting. However, there can be other beast types such as felines or canines, and what you're seeing is not a joke or a camera error or a hoax of some kind that I have perpetrated, and that's why I want to go on camera and show you my face and show you that I am not trying to pull some sort of hype or to get views or fame or anything else. I discovered these non-humans in January of 2013, and it has been an amazing ride since I did. And so this film is exposing more of these apparently non-humans that shapeshift, whether it's genetics that shapeshift or whether it is a shapeshifting technology. I think that there are both, however, I don't know, and there's a lot we don't know. And in fact, most people, such as myself investigating this, really don't know anything for sure except that there are non-humans living among us. And I encourage everybody to upload this shapeshifter exposure because there are horrific crimes that are taking place, as there are many witnesses, such as Cathy O'Brien and her book Trans-Formation of America, and many others that testify that there are many terrible things going on that we don't know about. Taxpayer money being spent on technology and things to suppress people like me, and I have witnessed that they have undeclared technology that they are using, some sort of spy orb or orbs that were flying around a helicopter that was part of the many helicopters and airplanes and so forth that continually buzz me day and night since I started this to harass me and to intimidate me and to use sort of a satanic attack to drive me crazy to prevent me from doing this. But we as a race have to fight back, so I encourage anyone who sees this. All of my movies are free for everyone to download and upload, mix, match, no need to credit. You can slap ads on it, whatever you want to do. Get the word out. Show this footage to people. The more people that see this, the more people that are going to wake up to the fact that we as a race, human beings, are being used and have major crimes being committed against us by whatever these non-humans are, whether they are from the Earth, whether they're from other planets. We still haven't confirmed any of that, but what we do know is we got to do something.
He said the sergeant shapeshifted in front of him, turned into a reptile.
How can it not know what it is?
I found out that the near-death experience was a ruse, that we're in a net, we're in lockdown. This is not about karma and reincarnation. They reincarnate. This interdimensional reptilian race keeps us in a cycle in the game. We don't get out. We're just cycled around and around. And then it turned out the three of them who were here at the time, reptilians, said, yeah, we were hiding in the house when he died, and we grabbed him and we ate him. Other than the rapes, which are, they're collecting, rape is one of the ways they feed, by the way. They call that alien honey. When they're in the process of raping somebody, they are ingesting your energy in that form. They would also cut into his head. They put in implants into his nose, into the sinus cavity, into his ears. They would, that way they could monitor or give him the visions and the voices that they wanted him to hear to keep him in this tied in with them state. They can manipulate his dreams, their dreamscape. Then they would also dig into his head. They would extract fluids, spinal fluids. They feed on different organs, body organs. They will use like almost the needles to extract. This is all astral. They extract fluids, body fluids. When they ingest people, they're not just eating meat. They are eating. What they're eating is there's memory in our bones. They ingest elements, emotions. All these different things. Otherwise, they could just clone and eat people. Clone and eat and clone and eat. But that's not enough for them. The human body, when they ingest it, they take in much of what we are, or aspects of ourselves. Not our true spirit or soul, but they will absorb our essences. So it's not just meat to them. When they extract spinal fluids, which they do from a lot of people, if you have bumps or funny things going on behind your neck or in the back of your head, they sell that. It's synthesized and it is a drug. It's like their cocaine. They transport bodies, body parts, and astral humans to Mars and to Orion, and they traffic in these. It's a big, big commerce. We are their whole life. Orion, Mars, and which are their two main bases of operation. They come from Orion. Mars they own. They have huge detention centers and huge meat lockers. Most of the people who die are taken to Mars and they have hanging pens where they then kill them again astrally in these hanging pens. I think they probably are raping people while they're getting ready to be hanged, because that is tremendous fear, and they ingest that energy. They will torture little children in front of their parents so that they can get that energy. And there's no depths that this race will not stoop to. They have no compassion, cold and vicious. That's what I say about them.
You also have a friend who you say has a reptilian inside of him.
This is the same man. He does. He got seeded. Many people are seeded. If he's described it as tentacles, almost like tentacles of thought, like these thoughts that are very negative, destructive, will almost like wash over you like a wave. And now he knows what's going on. He saw this thing in his astral vision rise up out of himself and look in his face one night. Very dark. And the ones around him that torture him every night also will put energy into the thing to try to help it grow. If you don't know, every major political, moneyed, power person on this planet has one inside of them. Almost virtually every one of them. I don't know if they're conscious of it, but I can hear it in their reversals. It comes out right away. We were recording, and the reptilian speaking on the tape said, we made you cut. We wanted you to commit suicide. And that was a big wake-up call for her, because she realized this was not her, this was her being influenced by them. Because they've created debt. They've created this whole money system. And if it's wrong. It's wrong. Look at this planet. It is wrong. When I first heard that on the wedding of Charles and Camilla, when the reptilian said, "Yeah, I'm a wolf pig, but who's going to believe this?" It's such a bizarre story. Reptilians know our minds inside out and backwards, way more than we do. They're dreamscapers. They channel. They do, they give us all kinds of visions. They dress up as angels, whatever. They don't want us to know that we are being eaten on the other side. That was the biggest secret. That was the one thing that you don't hear about, because they want us to be in the game. If we for one moment stop fighting each other and look to see who's pulling the strings, they would be out of here. They want war. They want manipulation. They want us fighting and arguing between ourselves. They don't want us to know that when you die, there's a very good chance that you will be eaten. You've got all these people abandoned in this gloomy, predatory world. They never see anyone leave, ever. They have children there. It's a prison state. They're attacked by demons, reptilians at night. They have that. And in the last couple of years, they're hunted for food now. It's gone from bad to a nightmare. They tried to tell me about these reptilian aliens, that they were very vicious. I mean, the reptilians were coming in, they were cloning them by the thousands and thousands. As a matter of fact, one of them told me that they were getting ready to invade New York.
So reptilians cloning reptilians.
Right, yes. And the ones that they clone are all, I think they're virtually all male. They told me they have an extra Y chromosome, which makes them much more aggressive. So I had hundreds of them here, literally. They told me they were surrounding me, and we're going to, next time you go to the dentist, we're going to put a virus in your gum. We're going to insert cancer into your womb. We're going to rape you. We're going to, it's on and on. They think they look down on humans. They think they're just retarded cattle. They're miserable. They're very unhappy. They don't like their lives. They're very controlled. They have hierarchies. They have to do what they're ordered. If they don't go along with the program, they're annihilated. They usually have their heads cut off. They have some regular births. Most of them now are clones. This is the first time I got what they do. We're going to keep these humans as slaves, and when we get tired of them, we're going to hang them and eat them. That was the first time I really got it, what this eating. This wasn't just about energy or sucking energy. This was about literally chopping them to pieces and eating them. They're all like this.
He's just as vicious and two-faced as
Yeah, they all are like this. This is basically their MO. And so when he sees the owl, which is the -- metaphor for this reptilian group, he calls it the higher wisdom of the mind. When he sees snake and serpent as snake being deceptive, serpent being healing. I see it all as talking about these reptilians. He does not get into the meat-eating aspect of it on the other side, although he does talk about them consuming flesh and blood during their satanic rituals. But that's more of a ritualistic thing. The people on the other side of their daily fare, they have restaurants on the other side that serve human meat. They're shapeshifters. I mean, whatever you think or whatever you're looking for, that's what you'll get.
Now let's talk about the reptilian history with Earth humans. You say the reptilian race from Orion has been here for thousands of years and maybe longer, at first presenting themselves as the gods and then using their technology and genetic know-how to manipulate the human race for their own ends. That, it seems, involves using the human being as a food source, an energy source, a plaything, a slave, and a marketable item. So initially you say that, as well, you mentioned the reptilians are physical beings and do have physical bodies, but these, it appears, are kept in a storage place once they arrive here. while they encase themselves in a physical human form to operate behind the scenes. They have mastery over the fourth dimension, which for us is the world of dreams and astral travel.
That he saw them coming in from the homeworld, that they would have on these sort of almost like latex costume faces, and they would use these while they were in transport, I guess not to get anybody's attention. They have physical bodies, which they may keep on when they're underground or in these bases, because people have said they've seen reptilians. That's when they're in the physical. But they found that if they can take off, get out, step out of their physical body, step into a human physical body, they can operate here behind the scenes, controlling and manipulating without any problem. So that's really how they do it. Times that there was an inhabited planet in the Sirius system, and there are Syrians here who are also in this fight, but they said that is fouled and uninhabitable. That the aliens or the owl fouled that planet. Supposedly, I've heard it was beautiful. It was, one woman called it my Eden. You took away my Eden. We as a species, the human race, was evolving on this beautiful planet just wonderfully, but naive enough to when these gods came, so-called, and they wowed everybody with their technologies, and then they started this whole thing. So, every culture has its gods and goddesses, the Greek gods and all these different Sumerians, and I think, but it was after the last passing of the planet X with the great flood stories that are all over, that's when they decided not to come back in their own, or in a physical form. That was when the decision was made to come and be cloaked within human beings, so that, because all of a sudden there are no gods. Now all of a sudden we're sort of left on our own, but we're not. That's when they decided to use the cloaking of humans. I heard it referred to as the Martian net, so I think that this extends all the way to Mars, and I know that they use wormholes and portals in order to transport body parts and what have you from energy points here, probably portals or energy centers, which are there connected to wormholes. They use those to transport to Mars and to Orion. That is the one place that they're most vulnerable, because they're not real, they're sort of outside of the net in a way. So they were furious when I heard that. Well, we never turn around to see who's creating the mess, and we just keep fighting each other. Well, they regularly they're parasitic, as well as eating astral flesh and sometimes physical flesh. They are parasitic, so they ingest energy through, while people are sleeping or meditating or in a restful state. If you feel a vibration, like in a certain body part or on your face, just like a light tingly, then somebody's sucking your energy. You can feel it in different areas. Usually it's around a chakra or a major organ, because that's where most of the energy is housed. And so they'll be feeding on you. And I've heard them talk about, waiting for somebody to go to sleep so they'll feed on them. The chemtrails, from what I understand, again, it's hard for me to get real technical information from reverse speaking, because I'm not that good at it. The biological organisms are for seeding people. They want to get as many people seeded as possible before they leave. So they're dropping these biological, it's seeds of their own kind. They're underground, they have huge bases there.
And what else do they have going on Mars?
Well, that's where they take a lot of the people that die, and that's where they kill them again. And they have huge meat lockers there. And that's where the ship will stop on its way out to pick up more meat. These animals, these lizards have just voracious appetites. Voracious. They use a lot of meat. They wait. They told me you make war, we plan the wars, you fight, and we dine. And I have a reversal that says in World War II, when Bush was talking to the war vets, He says, we ate so many, then we hiccup. This is why we have war. Strictly. Well, there's different reasons. They can make money and it's control, but it's mainly to eat. It's their survival. It's for their survival. We are it for them. They have no life without us. That's why they're so terrified of what's coming. Because everything that they gain and everything that they do, we're their drug, their food, their pleasure, their energy. They have nothing without the humans. So this is we're screwing around with us is their life. The humans, most of the humans are of no threat to them. The humans, for the most part, they see as retarded, and they just see them as food.